Yo, what's up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel, Movies with the Guatemalan. Woo! And today, I'm gonna be reviewing the Before Trilogy. If you guys don't know what it is, they're movies. I have a Criterion Collection thing for it right here. The Before Trilogy by Richard Linklater. Really good movies. If you guys haven't seen it, must watch. But yeah, even made the Criterion Collection, as you can see. So it must be hella good, right? But yeah, so it's before sunrise, before sunset, and before midnight. And I'm gonna do a quick little review. I'm gonna do like quick little snippets of each movie and like what I thought of it, and then the whole trilogy all together. That's how I'm gonna do it. I wrote notes. Wow, I'm so professional, right? Okay, so starting off with the first one, Before Sunrise. So when I first saw this movie, I'm like, wow, it was a bit like I wasn't I like this was before I started getting into more like dialogue like movies and all that. So I never really finished it. Like I saw it, like I had to watch it. This is my third time watching it and actually like watching it for like review. And like the first time it was like it was a bit too long. The second time I fell asleep. But this time, like actually listening to what like the dialogue and all that was said, wow, this movie is something. Like it, like the I don't know. It's just like the connections with the main characters, Jesse and Celine. Like it starts off like on a train, and then like there's a couple arguing, and then Celine's character goes to move back away from the arguing couple, sits across from Jesse's character, and that's how the story begins. It's a simple story, simple concept. They meet on a train. They spend the whole like night together, technically just talking and getting to know each other, and they technically just like start falling for one another. It's really cute. It's a really great movie. The dialogue, this is for all three, but the dialogue is amazing. For me, actually paying attention, like the stuff like the ideas that were just like spoken in this movie. The idea of like love and all that, just like ideas and like their conversations in all these movies actually, but in this movie, wow, it just like kicks off, and you see like this movie technically takes place like evening to like sunrise, before sunrise. That's technically the whole like time span of this movie, and you really see the growth and connection the growth of each character, and how they grow together, and how like they connect. Like by the end of the movie, they're like connecting. Like at first it's like this, and slowly throughout the movie, there's a strong connection. Some scenes I wanna like give a little shout out to, or like the little tram scene. Like yeah, once they get out the train station, they go along this little tram around the city, and like it's funny because like this is like cute little things. Like there's not much going on in the movie. You're literally with them, just the movie's literally just about them going through the city this evening and night, and they're just talking. There's not much happening, right? But like just the small details, like in the tram scene where like they're like I guess it's a tram, but just like Jesse's character trying like to go for like Celine's hair, trying to put it back, and then she puts it back. And then also just like stuff like that. His like flirtatious styles, and the record like when they're in the records like store and all that. And then they go to the here lounge, like the sound room, I guess, to like try out a record, and like nothing's happening, nothing. It's just the record playing, no conversation, just them like awkwardly making eye contact, trying to avoid one another. Amazing, loved it. And then like the Ferris wheel scene, oh, so beautiful, so romantic. It's amazing. This movie was amazing. Like honestly, it's like a good setup for like the next two, because it just gets better and better. Before sunset, okay, so I like the way the first one ended. They're gonna meet up in 6 months. Spoilers if you haven't seen it. If you haven't seen it, what the hell are you doing? Go watch it. Um, but at this point, they've been out for a while. So, I don't know. I'm late to the party, but so you just go watch it. So technically, it starts off, like he's an author, like he becomes an author and writes about like that night. Then he's like doing like this interview thing at like this bookstore, and they're asking him questions. And as he's talking, you get it, like it's a recap of the first movie. He's technically recapping the first movie, and it shows scenes as he's like talking with his voice, like talking over the scenes. Just recapping like the main like big parts of the first movie, and honestly, it's a good thing because like these movies came out pretty like far apart. Watch. The first one came out in 1995. The second one in 2004. That's almost like 10 years, 9 years apart. Like, come on. So it's good they recapped it. They did a little quick recap because it's been a while. And then from there, she pops up at the bookstore. They start talking. The whole like walk to the cafe because they're in Paris now. And the first one they're in Vienna. This one they're in Paris. Not Paris, just France, right? But they walk. They have after that they get together and walk. And the thing I really like about like this is like it's how it's shot. It's just like the cameraman's like right in front of them and they're walking towards you. So it's just following them from the front, and then love that the cafe scene. Make sure comedy and all that, them catching up and all that. So the ideas that they have, like the conversations, again, amazing. Like just like life, they just talking about deep life, stuff, about life, about like like concepts and all that. It's crazy. And then another big scene, that really caught me. That was sort of like parallels, like in the record store, like that when they're in the room is the staircase scene sort of. So this is like towards the end. Jesse walks her back because he has to catch a place. He walks Celine back to her apartment, and they're going up the stairs. It's like a spiral staircase, but like and she has a cat, so she's carrying her cat, right? And they're exchanging like the awkward looks again, trying to avoid each other and all that. But this time we get way more background on what's going on with them. They both have their own separate lives. Did they meet after 6 months? No, she missed out because family issues. Grandmother passed away, so she missed it. He came though, but yeah. So that happened, and then they have their own separate lives going on now, and also before that, there's like this huge like, so that after they get on this boat, and then the guy Jesse offers Celine a ride back with like his like cab driver or something, and like she goes off, and it's like wow, she's been holding all this in, like, and like even though if like they don't like there's like a 9-year gap, it doesn't feel long. It feels like it smoothly connects to the first movie, and it feels like you've been with these characters the whole time, and like just like all that, like you understand why Celine like exploded in the cab, and why she hates what she feels and how she feels, and the whole idea of love, and how she like she just wants to dismiss it now because she felt like she gave everything away, and how she feels like she's being used by guys and all that, the whole concept. And then he sort of goes off, but like, and how like how he what's it called, decided to like shut up for love, like because she didn't show up, and it's like he's trying to be like living a pretend life, but love. That's also gave a quick shout out to that scene. But yeah, that staircase scene was parallel to the record studio scene, and then the ending was like, cause she plays guitar, right? So he wrote a book about that night, but she wrote a song about that night, and just like as she sings, because it just like the camera pans from her singing and her reaction to it, like as she sings the song, to him, and listening and like the smiling and like the seriousness, like oh like but it's a cute little song. It's called the waltz or something. I really liked it, and then, bro, and then it ends on a cliffhanger. I wasn't expecting that one because the first one it tied up like the whole story, right? This one ends on a cliffhanger, just like, but yeah, but that cliffhanger hanger leads to the third movie, Before Midnight, which was released in 2013. Another 9 years. Can you believe? No. Wait. Yeah, another 9 years. Can you believe that? 9 year gap between the two. That's crazy. But yeah, before midnight, it starts the beginning. It's like a huge, the characters are older now. You see it. He's dropping off his son. It starts off with Jesse's character, then his son, and then he's dropping him off at the airport, saying goodbye, and then you see her, Celine, and then they had $2. I'm like, what? Like, damn, that's crazy. Like, wow. Like, he stayed with her. Like, that was I thought he was then they were in Greek, visiting. They got invited to like this writer's house or something, this author's house, and so it was like for the summer, so that was their summer vacation, and it again, it's like a natural pickup. Like the story picks up naturally, just like the Before Sunset, the second one, it picks up naturally. It's nothing forced, Even though there's a time jump, and they address it, it doesn't say 9 years later, or blah 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 years later. They just it. They explain the time jump with their conversations, getting to know one another even more and all that. So I liked it. It felt natural. So they're driving back from the airport back to the author's house, the writer's house, and it's comedies, there's comedy in all of them, but this one starts off with a bit more comedish and all that, and it gets a bit more serious. But then we get to the house, and then there's at the house, once they get to the writer's house, there's lunch. I think it was lunch or dinner. They're feasting, right? That scene, wow, bro. I don't know how long that scene lasted, but I wish it lasted longer. It starts off, with the writer, thanking them, and they're talking, and then at some point, I think it's one of the they just start talking about the concept of love and all that, and I guess you could say the roles of male and females and how the male and female roles in a relationship are, and then also it because there's you could say there's three generations at the table. There's the two couples that are Celine. There's Celine. There's two couples that are 40 or something in the 40s. Celine and Jesse, and then the other I think the writer's daughter and his nephew, not nephew, but her husband, and then there's the grandson with his girlfriend, and then there's him, and then there's, I don't know if it's his wife. It's not his wife, but it's another older elderly lady that's there, and then they all start sharing what it means to be what love means to them, their own definition of love, and how they see love in a relationship and being together and all that, and they all and it's crazy how love can be interpreted in many different ways for many different people. So that was it gets to you. It makes you question how do you see love? Is it love this to you, or is love this to you? It's really deep stuff that they get into, and that's what I really enjoy about these movies. They get into deep stuff that make you think about how you think, on these topics and all that. So yeah, and there's a hotel scene. They get to a hotel, and wow, this is this is the first time we actually see them arguing, and that's a whole 20 minutes of the movie right there, just them. They're about to do stuff at the hotel, but then Celine brings something up, and they just start arguing with one another, and wow, like there's like wow, you think it's gonna end, but it just continues, and like you see that, and there's like this whole scene, like how what's it called? How Jesse like sums it up at the end of the movie. It's like love is not perfect, you know. There's gonna be the ups and downs, you know, and like that was one of the big downs, and how like sometimes you gotta risk everything, you know. You're gonna regret stuff, but it's like he's not perfect and she's not perfect. They all have their own personal life issues, you know. But if you really love the person, you're gonna make it work, right? And you're gonna get through it together. So that huge argument, like the way, because at the end of the argument, she's like, "I don't love you anymore," and then there's like a quick like tone change from like all seriousness, like like wow, just like intensity and intensity and all that, to like lightheartedness, with like Jesse being like all flirty and like romantic and all that, trying to like get her back, and it works at the end. But yeah, great, crazy stuff. So the whole trilogy in general, I love these movies. I'm gonna say these are my top 20 movies of all time now. So, you guys gotta watch these. So key points for the whole trilogy, just in general, the conversations, the dialogue in this movie is amazing. Top top point dialogue, amazing. The topics they talk about, like it's like it's romantic. It's like it's supposed to be like a romantic movie, but like they talk about other stuff too. But instead, like just not just romance. It's about life. Religion. Beliefs. It's crazy what the stuff they talk about. The way the movies were shot, like the walking shots, like sometimes the cameraman's in front of them as they walk or behind them. Though just the way it's shot, and just like, dude, just the way it's shot in the cities, like realistic. It's not green screen. It's actual, it's the actual city. You're actually seeing everything happening. It's not fucking green screen like most movies nowadays. Even with like cities, they put green screen. I don't know why, but it's natural. It's a natural city. It's actual. Yeah, but with the way they're shot, the cinematography, just some of the shots, how like the camera's positioned, like when they're arguing, and like how it zooms in from zooming in to zooms out for like the wider picture of the room or something, or just to get a bigger glimpse of like the city behind them as they walk or something. It's beautiful stuff. Especially like there's this one scene in the Before Midnight where they're just watching the sunset, and Celine's just like, it's still there, and they're just sitting, right, just watching it, and you just see the sunset. You go like the camera's like behind their head, and you see what they're looking at, the sunset as it goes down behind this mountain. Just so beautiful. Wow, like it's breathtaking. And then just like the way the movies flow and connect with one another, like it's just natural. It's like you're seeing this like in an actual person, like it's like you're experiencing this in real life. It feels natural. It connects with one another naturally. It doesn't feel forced. It's not forced. It's not like, oh, so we can make more movies. It feels like an actual natural thing that would actually happen between two people in real life, in an actual reality, and which also connects to the way like Jesse and Celine, the way Ethan Hawke and Julie Delpy, the way they interact throughout these movies is just natural. It feels so natural and realistic, like their chemistry as just like between these characters they play. It's nothing like forced. It's nothing like it's nothing animated. It's not over exaggerated. It's like if you've seen Marriage Story, it like captures like the realistic, like the reality of what if it is to be like in love, or like the reality of like of like loving someone and having to be far away from them, and then all these choices you run into them again. It's something that's realistic, and you sympathize with how, you know, through, like, even though you haven't gone through it, you know, maybe you had, maybe you haven't, but you feel what they feel, you sympathize with them, and that's what I enjoy in a good movie. The story is really well, and like, even though it's simple, at the same time it's complex with the ideas and topics they talk about, which like, they really go into depth with these characters, which I really enjoy. It's not like it's like, oh, I like this and like that, you know. Like, she, like, I one of the movies they're doing like a little quiz, like, I don't want, on the first one, no one word answers, you know. They get into the nitty gritty, you know, nitty gritty. But yeah, and like the whole story in general, just like the whole like concept of like love, like this is what the story's about. It's about love and like the ups and downs of love, you know. And you know, like Jesse said, like, and I agree with this too. Like, do you love, like, you love everyone you say you love, you know? You meant it at the time, you know, exes you meant at the time, but now you don't, you know? But then there's the true love, you know, which is what many people nowadays, like, oh, love and love, blah blah, you know, it's not who I love. Like, yes, you do love them, but it's not the true love, because it's that connection, like they said in the movie. It's like that, I felt that connection, that true connection. You know, there's a connection out there. You know, you're gonna find it, and also like it shows like the risk. You know, sometimes you gotta risk everything that you have and have established just to be with that one person. You know, and it's like some deep power. Like, it's powerful stuff. Like, you could put that into the real world now, even with all this technology. You know, going on. Like, it's good stuff. It's good, like, life lessons that you learn and all that through these movies, which I really enjoy. I'm glad the director did this. Should they make another one? I personally think not. The actors say, like, Ethan Hawke's, like, there's a possibility, but I think they ended it well with Before Midnight. Love these movies. Great movies. Lots of dialogue, so if you're not a dialogue heavy, like, person, don't watch them, but if you can, please do. I recommend them. 10 out of 10 each movie. But yeah, so that's my review for the Before Trilogy. And this is Criterion, so you can get these on Barnes and Nobles. They're expensive, but July and November they have the 50% off. 2 months they have the 50% off sales for Criterion. Check this out. And yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this. Make sure to give a like on this video, thumbs up, you know, subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed this, if you want to see more content, and yeah, make sure to share, you know, if you've seen the movies, let me know what you think of them, what you liked about them, what you didn't like, you know, give me your thoughts down below in the comments. But yeah, thank you, and guys, hope you guys have a great night, morning, day. I don't know where you guys are watching from the world, but just have a good life, man. Just have a good life.